Sukkot is called Zman Simchaseinu. It's called the time of happiness. Now, every one of the Jewish holidays, we are taught by the great Ramchal, bringing down from the earlier Kabbalistic sources, that every single one of the holidays is like a flow energy, where if you can download that energy, you can download that vibe, you have like a period of time to download a certain energy, a window to get that thing for the entire year. So when it comes to Passover, Pesach, you're downloading the energy of freedom. When it comes to Shavuot, you're downloading the energy of Torah. When it comes to Lag BaOmer, you're downloading the energy of the secrets of Torah. When it comes to Hanukkah, you're downloading the energy of miracle, personal miracle. When it comes to Yom Kippur, you're downloading the energy of soul consciousness. And that soul consciousness naturally will lead you to forgiveness. Because if you're identified as a soul, so the soul comes out clean. The soul doesn't do any averas. The soul comes out clean. When it comes to Sukkot, you're downloading the energy of happiness. This is the time, literally the download of happiness for the entire year. So if anybody this year felt like, they could use a little boost in their jolly beans, and they could use a few more happiness poppers, it's nothing over the counter, it's nothing behind the counter. It's called Sukkot. It's called Sukkot. Zman Simchaseinu. Now, what is the great happiness of Sukkot? The great happiness of Sukkot is it comes after Rosh Hashanah, after I'm absolutely clear that my mission in the world is to help build Hashem, His kingdom, and that I'm part of this majestic royal kingdom. And I know with absolute certainty that that's all that I want. And have you noticed that the entire Sefer Simei Tshuva, all I'm talking about is HaMelech HaKadosh, HaMelech HaMishpat, Zachrein L'chaim, Melech Chofetz B'chaim, the king. We're so in it that we want to be part of this kingdom. We want to be on this mission. That's what this whole group that we created, this Slack group, is to help people be on this big mission. And we're encouraging for all of humanity to get involved in this group, is that we're trying to give resources to be part of this kingdom of Hashem. So the whole Sefer Simei Tshuva is I'm identifying so deeply with this mission. And then comes Yom Kippur. And as we've been speaking about, Yom Kippur is the day that we unlock all 5 levels of my soul, and we purge from us the contamination of the snake, all of the venom of the snake that took over my identity, that made identity theft, and tried to diabolically convince me that I should be angry, and I should do things that are not kosher, and I should be dishonest in things. We 100% remove that consciousness. That's why on Yom Kippur, you're 100% identified as a soul. You're wearing all white. You're not eating, drinking. It's the day of the soul. But that's not the ultimate happiness. The ultimate happiness is then when you re-emerge into this world once again. And you realize that as a soul, in the world of Hashem, you're absolutely fired up with the mission of making Hashem this home, and you're so close to Hashem that you feel with absolute certainty that Hashem is taking care of you. Hashem is protecting you. Why do people not get so happy? And if you say because they have a chemical imbalance, what's the cause of the chemical imbalance? That there's a feeling like, I don't know if I'm being taken care of. I don't know if I'm safe and secure. When I'm safe and secure, it brings a great happiness. That after the journey through Yom Kippur, and that I'm so connected as a soul to God and God to me, I feel so safe, I feel so connected, that I realize it's not my house that's protecting me. I could live in some mansion somewhere in Bel Air, who knows, with steel reinforced walls. You know what I do? I'm gonna head outside into my little thatched roof hut. Tzeh mediras keva, v'shav b'diras arai. I leave my mansion, I go out, some flimsy walls, bunch of thatch up on the roof, got some, grape cuttings up, just some few little stalks of bamboo, chuck them up there. The Shem mitzvah sukkah. You're sitting in a hut, no protection from the elements, barely. It's a funny thing, people put little locks on their sukkah, mostly for the cats. But I'm saying, the thing is flimsy, it's a lock on the door, you could flick the thing. And the whole sukkah is, gagangan. The whole thing is, and you sit in this little hut, made out of some flimsy wood, a couple little strings here and there. You can make halachic sukkahs with a couple little lovage straps, a few little strings, a few pieces of dental floss even for the walls. We'll talk about that another time. All the halachas of what constitutes a wall. Barely anything is needed. Throw a little bit of thatch up there. And you might be thinking is this safe? I'm not so protected. Once you've gone through the Rosh Hashanah and you're connected to the kingdom of Hashem, and you've become so pure and absolutely identified with your soul, at that moment you realize that Hashem is so with you that you leave your house and you go and you sit in a hut and you feel absolute protection from Hashem. That's the happiness of Sukkot. I'm so connected, I'm so safe because I'm with you. That I could sit in a little hut. The Arizal points out that what's the minimum size sukkah? Shtaim kilchosim v'shalisha filu tefach. 2 walls that are 7 tfachim, okay, which is the space of the elbow to here. And then the 3rd wall can even be a tefach, could even be like this. So 2 walls. From my shoulder to my elbow is 1, from my elbow to my wrist is another, and then the last wall is like this. He says the sukkah is like a hug. It's literally just Hashem is that's the minimum sukkah. Every sukkah is at least a hug from Hashem. He's pulling you in. He's saying, I'm protecting you. And the Gemara says, the sukkah, what do you think about? What do you think about when you're in the sukkah? Yeah?
7 clouds.
Think about the Anonei covered. So it's a machlokes of Eliezer Rabbi Akiva. The sukkah, what does the sukkah remind you of? What should you be thinking about when you're sitting in the sukkah? So, in other words, why do we make sukkahs? So one opinion says, we make sukkahs because it reminds us of the booths. Sukkahs mamish. We literally made booths when we left Mitzrayim. We sat in sukkahs. We sat in these little makeshift booths when we left Egypt. So we make sukkahs. The other opinion says that no, we're making the sukkahs to remind you of the clouds of glory. The Anonei HaKavod. These clouds of glory, do you know what they did for us? When we were moving through the deserts, the clouds of glory were miraculous. We were surrounded on all sides. There were clouds below us. The clouds of glory washed our clothing while we were wearing them. The clouds of glory would repel weapons that were coming to hurt us. The clouds of glory allowed our clothing to grow while we were wearing them. The clouds of glory were a temperature-controlled ecosystem inside. And when the clouds would move, we would move. Hashem was guiding us. We were protected. Now, it's a funny thing, a cloud's not so. I remember always thinking, before I ever went on a plane, it's how are we going to get through that cloud? You know what I'm saying? like, how do you go through a cloud? And my mother was always like, it's like a cloud. Like, it's not, not so, solid. You know what I'm saying, Nate? It's like a cloud. But you know what Hashem is saying? That if Hashem has your back, even a cloud protects you. Even a cloud could stop weapons. Even a cloud, and the clouds actually made the weapons bounce back. Once you have Hashem's protection, you feel so safe. You feel so much happiness that Hashem is with you. So it's interesting. One opinion says that we make the sukkahs zecher to the Ananya covered. You're supposed to have both in mind. That you look inside your sukkah and you're thinking that this is in the spirit, this is in honor, this is in through the mitzvah of that Hashem put me in Ananya covered. The second opinion though says, no. We don't make it because of the fact that Hashem put us on the Ananya covered. We make it because Sukkah's mamish. Now, Sukkah's mamish is an interesting language. There's a famous Rashi in the Torah that says that when Yaakov Avinu was coming, and Esav was coming to meet him, so it says that Yaakov Avinu sent malachim. He sent messengers. So there it says, this is about getting to the fight of Yaakov and Esav, that he was coming to greet him, right? Esav's coming with his armies. So it says that Yaakov sent messengers. V'yishlach Yaakov malachim. So what does the word malachim mean? What does it mean, messenger? What's a malach? What are malachim? So there's one meaning of the word that means malachim means like a messenger. But Rashi there says that no, Yaakov didn't send messengers, he sent malachim mamish. Mamish malachim, like angels, mamish. Because angels are also messengers. Don't think these are just like people that he sent. No, he sent malachim mamish. So when you hear the word mamish, it's always above. It's something more. You know what I'm saying? So Yaakov didn't send messengers, he sent malachim mamish. Like whatever you think it is, it was like next level. So I heard from Rabbi Tzvi Meyer's beautiful. So he said that machlokes in the Gemara that says that according to the first opinion, that the sukkah is zecher, is in memory of the Ananya covered. That you sit in a sukkah and it's as if to say that you're like sitting in the Ananya covered. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. But the second opinion says, no. There's one thing to be in Ananya covered. There's another thing to be in Sukkah's mamish. Whatever Ananya covered is, to a sukkah, you know what's inside of a sukkah? It's even more than Ananya covered. It's Sukkah's mamish. Everybody knows mamish is the gematria, psh, right? Peishin, mamish. Right? You chap that? 380? Mamish. Psh. Heard that from Rabbi Dov there. Gewaldig. Sukkah's mamish. That when you know that you're sitting in a sukkah, you're sitting in Ananya covered, but you're also sitting in Sukkah's mamish, you feel so protected, you feel so safe, you feel so connected to Hashem, that when you feel that connected with Hashem, you just want to party. You just want to party. And the whole of humanity actually comes and joins in on that celebration. That's why we bring the Shivim Parim, we bring the 70 cows in honor of all the nations of the world, the 70 nations of the world. We bring special offerings to bring energy, to give blessing to humanity. It was always well known that nations all over the world would make pilgrimage to Jerusalem, always, and make like peace walks and have peace gatherings and peace marches in Jerusalem on Sukkot time. Because this is the time that the blessing is going forth for the whole world, that we're all protected with Hashem. Hashem made this whole world for us, and that brings so much happiness. It said that people barely sleep on Sukkot. It goes through the day of the life of the Jew on Sukkot. He would wake up, he'd go to shul, he would learn, he would daven again, he would learn again, And then it starts Simchas Beis HaShueva, and they would dance all night. They would dance all night. So the Gemara says, like, when would they sleep? So you know the way they would do it? That like they would sit for like a few minutes, like back to back, like Bubba Gump, you know what I'm saying? You know that one? And they're like back to back, holding each other up. Oh, Simchas Beis HaShueva time to go. But that was their sleep on Sukkot. That was the whole sleep on Sukkot. They were so excited about feeling that closeness to Hashem, which culminates on Simchas Torah. When we don't even have a Sukkah anymore. We don't even have the Daled Minim. We just have you. We don't even need the protection anymore. We become the Sukkah. We're just with you, Hashem. That's the ultimate unity. And really, Simchas Torah, Shmini Atzeres, and the Arizal, these are all days that are just leading up to the Nasir of the Malchus coming back to Zer Anpin. Just this ultimate unification coming back together. And that's why you'll see as Sukkot goes on, like the day it starts speeding up. Everything starts happening. There's a lot going on. And at that point, you just give yourself to Hashem. It's a very busy time because you're just busy feeling so close to Hashem. It's such a beautiful time. Sukkot, Zman Simchaseinu, Ve'ha'isa Ach Sameach. It's the time of absolute happiness. I'm so excited to sit in the Sukkah together. So excited. Everyone's invited to the Sukkah party in honor of Rabbi Nachman's Yurtzeit, which is connected also to the Vilna Gaon's Yurtzeit, one day apart. Tremendous, tremendous time of unification to sit with the Ushpizin. The Zohar says that every single night there are guests that come to the Sukkah. Avrami comes to the Sukkah. Itzikol comes. Yankel comes. Moishi comes. Arla. Yosel comes to the Sukkah. Dovidel. There's these special 7 shepherds that come into the Sukkah, and they come to have Sukkahs with us. It's a time of the tzaddikim, and the tzaddikim are mamish coming into the Sukkah, sitting with us. And Sukkah is the ultimate unification of Hashem and us. That's why Sukkah, that Hashem, when we refer to Hashem and the allness of Hashem, we refer to Hashem in Yud Kei Vav Kei, the infinite, the beyond, the one of absolute compassion. And we refer to us in this world that Hashem is the king, which is the Aleph Daled Nun Yud. And we refer to Hashem in that way. So when we can unify that beyondness of Hashem, that Hashem is not beyond, but He's with us in Aleph Daled Nun Yud, that's called the Yichud. And that's why the Yud Kei Vav Kei, that's the 26. And the Aleph Daled Nun Yud is the 65. When you put that together, it's 91. And 91 is the Gematria Sukkah. When you're sitting in the Sukkah, you're unifying everything. And that's why the Sukkah is the Mamala Kolam, is the Soiva Kolam, is the beyondness. Sukkah is something that's beyond. It's beyond. Sukkah, you're feeling a light from beyond, but that's why the Arizal says you take your Daled Minim in the Sukkah. Because when you're doing the Nanum, you're pulling that light into you. You're pulling that light down. You're moving all the bad forces away, and you're pulling godly light. This is one of the secrets of breathing, which we're going to talk a lot more about in the coming year, about some of the soidus of breathing. Breathing is a lost art. I say the way you breathe is the way you live. People who breathe deeply live deeply. We should be Zoicha Mamish this year to have a beautiful, beautiful Zman Simchaseinu, a time of Simcha, of downloading that Simcha for the entire year. Should be Zoicha Mamish through the Rosh Hashanah of HaMelech, through the Aser Semei Tshuva, the Yom Kippur, the Yom HaKodesh, the day of the Neshama, of the Kohen Gadol going Lifnai V'Lifnim, going all the way in, identifying absolutely with my soul, but then bringing my soul back into this world, but totally connected. And we're so excited that Harachaman Hu Yokim Lanu is Sukkos David Hanoi Felis, that Hashem will pick up the fallen Sukkah of David, which is the Shechina, that the godly presence will come back into this world. The godly presence that's been kicked down and broken will stand back up again in all of her glory, and we'll see the kingdom of Hashem once and for all of humanity. that the world will be that beautiful place that we've all been yearning for thousands of years to see, and we're the ones we've been waiting for. We're the ones that are going to help bring this into action. We should be zoich to this once and for all, to the Ach Sameach v'Samachta b'Chagecha, to be zoich mamish once and for all to the Binyan Beis HaMikdash b'Meher v'Yameinu. Amen.
Amen.
A wonderful Sukkot, my friends.